Good morning everyone. How are you all? I hope you all are staying fit and healthy these days. Myself, Ms. Surbhi Sharma from Shivjyoti Educational Group. So children, today we are going to start with Civics chapter 5, that is Women Change the World. Okay, you are requested to open up your books and keep pencils in your hand. Let's start with the chapter. Yes, so women change the world. Okay, now from what you are getting from the topic itself, women change the world. As you know, we have read in the last chapter, in the previous chapter, that is growing up as boys and girls. In that chapter we have read about the discrimination which was there between boys and girls, discrimination which was there in the upbringing of boys and girls. Okay, and you have read how the females were not given that much of respect in the society. So in this chapter we are going to talk about those females, those women, and the struggles which women did to get respect in the society, to have that particular position in the society which males are also having. So starting with the first topic, that is fewer opportunities and rigid expectations. Now fewer opportunities, what does it signify? It signifies that in our society women has been given very few opportunities, okay, for their career or for any other phase of their life. Okay, they are being given very few opportunities, and the expectations which is there from them is very rigid. Okay, what kind of expectations is there? Let me tell you. See, when it's about females, when it's about a girl, what society expect them to be? They expect them to opt for nurse, or they expect them to opt for a teacher. Okay, so they have limited the criteria for the career, they have limited the opportunities for their career. Who have limited? The society has limited these opportunities for the female. And what society is expecting from them? To see marriage as their main aim. Okay, to see marriage as their main aim. What society wants them to be? That even after completing 12, and in if you talk about the rural areas, they are not making their girl child get education even till 12th class. Okay, what they are doing in their early years only, they are being getting married. Like the society is getting them married, the parents are getting them married. Why? Because it's still considered females, because it's still considered women, girls, as burden on them. So if we talk about opportunities, they are like what they are expecting, that they should opt for nurse, teacher and such kind of jobs. And what kind of expectations are there from them? That they should see marriage as their main aim. Okay, they should see marriage as their main aim. Now you tell me, like I am giving you few options like pilot, engineer, teacher and nurse. Okay, now you can see this. When we talk about pilot, what comes in your mind? Obviously men. Okay, like when we are talking about pilot and engineer, what comes in our mind? Electrical engineer, electronics engineer. Okay, only males are coming in our mind. Okay, men are coming in our mind. When we are talking about teacher, who is coming in our minds? Women. Okay, nurse, women. Now tell me, who has said this kind of things? Is it written anywhere that only males can opt for such kind of occupation, only females can opt for such kind of occupation? This is not written anywhere, but this is what? This is stereotype kind of thinking. This is all stereotype thinking of society. This is stereotype thinking of society. So that's why it is said that females are having very fewer opportunities, because this limit has been set for them by the society because of their stereotype kind of thinking. Okay children, So this was all about fewer opportunities and rigid expectations. I hope you all got what kind of opportunities has been given to females and what kind of expectations are done from them by the society. Okay. Now breaking these stereotypes, there were few females, there were few women who broke this stereotype kind of thinking that females can't study, that girls can't go out for jobs. Okay. So let me tell you one story. Yes, story of Lakshmi Lakra. Now if we talk about Lakshmi Lakra, she belongs to a poor tribal family of Jharkhand. Okay, she belongs to a poor tribal family of Jharkhand. Okay, and she was the first female who opt for driver of a train, who opt for engine driver for the Northern Railways, who opt for engine driver for Northern Railways. Okay. Now you all open up your book. The story has been given to you. Let us read the story. Open page number 57. Yes, this is your story, breaking stereotypes. See, engine drivers are men, but 27-year-old Lakshmi Lakra from a poor tribal family in Jharkhand has begun to change things. She is the first woman engine driver for Northern Railways. So, she was the first woman engine driver for Northern Railways. Now, mark Lakshmi Lakra. Write down one question there. Who was the first woman? Who was the first woman engine driver? Who was the first woman engine driver for Northern Railways? This is your internal question. Okay, your answer is Lakshmi Lakra. Okay, Lakshmi's parents are not literate, but they struggled and overcame many hardships to make sure their children got an education. Lakshmi studied in a government school. Even in school, Lakshmi helped with the housework and did odd jobs. She studied hard and did well and then went on to get a diploma. So in those years also, she got herself educated. Okay, she studied hard and did well and then went on to get a diploma in electronics. She then took the railway board exam and passed it on her first attempt. Okay, and in this, her parents also supported her. Lakshmi says, I love challenges, and the moment somebody says it is not for girls, I make sure I go ahead and do it. Lakshmi has had to do this several times in her life. When she wanted to take electronics, when she rode motorcycles at the Polytechnic, and when she decided to become an engine driver. Okay, so what she is trying to say, that riding motorcycles, that is for boys, but she did it going against society. She did everything that was not harming anyone. Okay, so this was the story of Lakshmi Lakra. Yes, so our third topic is, that is learning for change. Our topic is learning for change. Okay, so in this topic we are going to read about those females, those women who has gone against society and started learning the things which they wanted to. Okay, now if we talk about few women, some studied in the kitchen when everyone was sleeping, and few was there hiding themselves and studying. Okay, so at that time also few women were there who started studying. They took help from their children or from somebody else, but they put their efforts in getting themselves educated. Okay, and we are going to read about one woman, it's there in your book also, who wrote her first book at age 60. Okay, so learning for change. In learning for change, we are going to talk about Sundari Devi, Pandita Ramabai, and Rokeya Sakhawat. Okay, about Rajsundari Devi, Pandita Ramabai, and Rokeya Sakhawat. About these three females, these three women, we are going to read. Yes, Rajsundari Devi. Okay, at the age of 60, what? At the age of 60, she wrote her autobiography Amar Jaban, My Life, published in 1876. Okay, published in 1876. Amar Jaban portrays women's lives in those days, including restrictions imposed on women by family and society. Okay, so the book which she wrote, in that book she expresses her views about the life which she was living at that time. She put her views in that book about the restrictions which were imposed on women by family and society. Okay, and our next is Begum Rokeya Sakhawat Hussain. Okay, born to a rich family, she knew how to read and write Urdu, but was stopped from learning Bangla and English. Rokeya learned to read and write English and Bangla with the support of her elder brother and elder sister. Okay, boys were getting the education, but girls were not getting the education. So she took help of her brother. Then Pandita Ramabai, she was born to an intellectual Brahmin family, learned to read and write from her parents. She was a poet, a scholar, and a champion of women's equality. Okay, so you can see some took help of their elder brothers, some took help of their parents, whose parents were agreed for getting themselves educated. So in this way, they all got themselves educated in those years also. Yes, our next topic is schooling and education today. See, now so many changes came in the society. Okay, females started learning by themselves. Okay, they are going up, they are going against the society and got themselves studied, got themselves educated. So after few years, okay, what happened? Few women and few men, okay, females and males, they put their efforts and they opened school and they encourage education system both in urban as well as rural areas. They told people about the importance of education in our society. So schooling and education today, from the past years till now, schools are there, and if you compare, there is a lot of difference if we compare the past years and the present years. In the past years, females were not going to school, okay, girls were not going to school, they were not going out for any job opportunities. But if we compare our present generation, they are going to school, they are opting for the occupation whichever they want. They are becoming doctors, they are becoming engineers. Okay, so that change, who brought those changes? These Rokeya Sakhawat and Pandita Ramabai, such kind of females brought those changes in our society. Okay, so our next topic, that is schooling and education today. See what happened. Now the schools are open for both boys and girls. Okay, schools are open for both boys and girls. And if we see the literacy rate, okay, if we see the literacy rate, boys are generally like, I am just giving you example, if they are at 87%, then girls are at 80%. Okay, now both boys and girls are getting the education, but the difference which existed in the past years, okay, there was a huge difference between the literacy rate of boys and girls. Okay, so at that time girls were not getting the education, but in today's time girls are getting the education, but that difference is still there in the education, in the literacy rate. Why? Because it will take time उस particular level पे आने के लिए, जिस level पे boys हैं अभी time लगेगा. Because if we compare the past years and present years, there was a huge difference in the past years in the literacy rate. So if we talk about present, there is change. Females, girls are getting education, but boys के level पे आने के लिए उनको time लगेगा. Okay, now let me show you one bar graph. Okay, yes, literacy in India from 1961 to 2011. You can see the graph, you can see the scale, okay, green that denotes males and blue that denotes females, okay. According to 1961 census, about 40% of all boys and men were literate compared to 15% of all girls and women, okay. So in 1961 only 40% of all boys and 15% of all girls were getting the education. Then from 1961 till 2001, in the census of 2001, the figures have grown to 76% for boys and 54% for girls. Now you can see the difference. See, boys from 40% they came to 76%. That is how many percent? 36%. And if we talk about females, from 15% they came to 54%. So if you see the increase in the percent of the girls which they are getting the education, you can see the percentage of girls are more than the boys. And again in the census of 2011, literacy rate has risen to 82% for men, okay, 82% for men and 65% for women. So in all, boys from 40% they came to 82% and girls from 15% to 65%. So this difference, okay, you can see this difference. This difference has reduced if you see here, okay. This difference has reduced if you see from here to here. But what I told you, it will take time to come at this level. Boys के level पे आने के लिए, literacy rate जो boys की उस level पे आने के लिए, it will take time. Okay children? Why it will take time? Because in rural areas, girls dropout rate, that is of SC and ST, is higher than that of girls from general category. Okay, so what they are trying to say, girls from these categories left school at early age than comparison to these category. Okay, reasons for poor attendance of SC and ST girls in school: lack of proper transport system. What they are saying, that proper transport system is not there in the rural area, so they can't send their girl child to get the education. Economic condition at home, like financially they are very weak and they can't invest in their girl child education. But if you see, government has launched many schemes. They are giving them financial assistance also to get their girl child also education, to get their girl child get the education. But still, what people are doing, they are thinking it as a waste of money. Then caste discrimination. I think this is just the reasons for not getting their girl child education. Now if you see in today's period, today's generation, present era, is it something like this? No. You all are coming to school, girls are also coming to school and boys are also coming to school, okay, and you all are sitting together in one classroom only, okay. So these reasons which are given by the people of rural areas, somewhere to some extent, to some percentage it is right, but not, this is not right fully, okay. They are just giving their excuses for not getting their girl child education. Yes, now the last topic of this chapter, that is women's movement, okay. So you can see till now what we have studied. Here they were not getting the, like, very few opportunities were available to them, rigid expectations were there. Then we learned about story of Lakshmi Lakra, then what kind of changes came in our society, then schooling and education today. So if we compare from the past years to present years, there is a lot of change in our society. Now in your day-to-day life only, your mothers are going for jobs, you are, if you are a girl child, you are going to school, so changes are there. Now how these changes came, that is women's movement. That the changes which came in the level of girls, in the level of females in our society, they gained respect, okay, they are fighting for their rights, okay. So this is all what through women's movement. This is called women's movement. The struggle which females were having in the earlier time, the struggles which females faced, okay, to come at this level, in present जो भी आज level है, उस level पे आने के लिए जो भी struggle उन लोगों ने face किया, that is known as women's movement. Now I am making you write one definition. You can write it down, you can note it down. I am writing it on the board. The status of women in India with respect to education, legal reforms, violence the women's struggle, and the struggle of women comes under women's movement. Okay, now let's read few topics which comes under women's movement, the campaigns, the protesting which they did to gain respect, to gain that position in the society. Campaigns against women's discrimination. Campaigns against women's discrimination. The discrimination which they were facing. What kind of discrimination? As I have explained in the chapter 4, at the age of 9 boys were getting the freedom, and at the age of 14 girls were getting the freedom. So you can see, so this is small discrimination which you face even in your present day lives. And violence is an important part of the women's movement. Violence, that is domestic violence. Okay, mass campaigns have led to new laws being passed. Okay, mass campaigns were there to which has led to the new laws being passed. Laws for the respect of the females, laws for the protection of the females. Then next is legal reforms. A law was passed in 2006 to give women legal protection in cases of domestic violence. Domestic violence, that is, if you have heard about the cases which comes in a newspaper, okay, for the dowry, they are treating her very badly, just why that her parents have not given them the dowry. So in case of domestic violence, that comes under domestic violence. Next, raising awareness. An important part of the women's movement work is to raise public awareness. Raise public awareness that, like, even in the nowadays, even in the rural areas, such kind of incidents, like girls are getting married for the dowry, like parents are the boy child के जो parents हैं वो किस चीज के लिए शादी कर रहे हैं, they are expecting the dowry from the family of the girl. Okay, and if she is not able to bring that kind of things from her home, what they are doing, they are beating her. Okay, they are not treating them properly. So इसके अगेंस्ट डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस का एक्ट निकला है, वो आज भी रूरल एरियाज में लोगों के नॉलेज में नहीं है. सो रेजिंग अवेयरनेस अबाउट सच काइंड ऑफ acts which gives them the protection from the society, protection from such kind of incidents. Okay, awareness on women's issues is spread through street plays, songs and public meetings. Okay, so how they are spreading the awareness among the females, among the women, by street plays, songs and public meetings. They did so by organizing street rallies, approaching the courts and sharing information. This became a public issue with media coverage, forcing the courts to change dowry laws. To change dowry laws. Why? Because the laws which were being passed by the court were not that much powerful. Okay, so to save such kind of females from that kind of family, उन families इन females को बचाने के लिए उन लोगों ने protest किया किस चीज के लिए कि dowry laws को और strong किया जाए. As a result of mass campaigns by women's group, the court made changes in the dowry laws to punish families who sought dowry. Now, what kind of laws are there? The one who will ask for the dowry and the one who will give the dowry, both are punishable. Okay? In the eyes of the law, both are punishable. Na dena, na lena. Nothing is allowed in the case of dowry. Now, protesting. Groups protest when a violation happens or when a law or a policy acts against their interest. Public rallies and demonstrations are a powerful way of drawing attention to injustice. Okay, public rallies, as you can see, a lot of cases had. Now the recent case of Hathras. Okay, what happened? All are protesting against those boys. Okay, all are protesting for that, like that she should get justice. And few years back, if you remember the case of Damini, in that also candle marches were there. Okay, rallies were there. Okay, showing solidarity. Solidarity means an entire union or consolidation of interests and responsibilities for a common cause. Okay, like a union banana for that particular thing, a common union banana. Okay, whether it is domestic violence or whether it is dowry debts or sexual harassment, for all such kind of things, a common campaign, a common union banana, a committee banana. Okay, that is solidarity. The women's movement is also about showing solidarity with other women and causes. So, in today's generation, females have gained that respect. that position in the society, and Women's Day is also being celebrated in India. Okay children, so this was all about your chapter. Now let's revise the points. Let's revise whatever we have studied. Women do not get as many opportunities as men in the spheres of education. Okay, this we have studied that in the rural areas boys were getting the education but girls were not getting the education. And employment also, fewer opportunities has been given to females due to prevalence of stereotypes. In the past, women education was frowned up, but since the 19th century, increase in women's education has led to the breaking of many stereotypes surrounding women. What happened from the 19th century? Few males and females came and established schools. They promoted education system. Okay, so from 19th century, these changes came in our society, and you can see in present generation, both boys and girls are going to school. In India, while both boys and girls attend schools in large numbers, the number of girls attending schools continue to remain less than that of boys. I have told you this also through a literacy chart. Okay, why the number remain less than that of boys? Because in the earlier time the difference was very huge, so it will take time to cover up. Boys के level पे आने के लिए उनको time लगेगा. Women's movement in India has adopted various strategies to spread awareness and end gender discrimination. ठीक है, those strategies हमने अभी पढ़ा, protesting, campaign, solidarity, such kind of things were started by the females to end gender discrimination and gain respect in the society. Yes, two questions are remaining, two internal questions are remaining. Open page number 56. Page number 56 and write down one question there. How much percentage of women are engaged in agricultural work in India? How much percentage of women are engaged in agricultural work in India? Okay, page number 56. You can see the answer in the cursive letters below the picture. One picture has been given to you on that page. Below that picture, one cursive letters में कुछ लिखा हुआ है. You can mark the answer from there. It is 83.6% of the working women in India are engaged in agricultural work. Your answer is first two lines. 83.6% of the working women in India are engaged in agricultural work. Okay, so this is second question. First question we have already marked, and your third question is on page number 60. Open page number 60, everyone. Page number 60. Write down question number 3 there. Name the autobiography. Name the autobiography written by Rajsundari Devi. Name the autobiography written by Rajsundari Devi. And your answer is there in the first paragraph only, fifth line. Fifth line. Okay. Her book titled Amar Jawan is the first known autobiography written by Indian women. Okay. Her book titled Amar Jawan. Okay. Mark it properly. Okay, children. So this was your internal question number 3. I hope you all understood the chapter well. If you are having any doubt, we are having live sessions also. You can clear it out there, and I will be asking you the question in the live session. Till then, thank you. Goodbye.